Nice to meet you, my dear friends, again here. How are you? Well, I feel that all of you are doing well. I'm very thankful towards you for listening to my video classes. Here, I would like to discuss the topic, the relationship between power, ideology and curriculum. And this topic is included in the paper Knowledge and Curriculum of B.Ed course in different universities. It's also included in Kannur University syllabus. So let's go through the topic. Let's discuss the relationship between power, ideology and curriculum. So there are three terms: power, ideology and curriculum. And this is a discussion on how the interests of the people on power and their ideology affect curriculum. Whether there is anything called the influence of the ruling people. Whether it is positive, whether it is negative. Whether it creates some democratic approach in the society. Whether it promotes autocracy. So let's have a comprehensive discussion on the topic. Before entering the topic, I may bring before your attention the words given by this man, Michael Apple. According to this man, schools or curricula controls not only people but also meanings. Something significant. Schools or curricula controls not only people but also meanings. And here, by giving some formal education to our children or to the people of a country, actually we are not only controlling them but also controlling their thoughts, their views, their opinion. Because we are promoting some strategies and they are forced to follow the strategies which we impose on them at school campuses. So they are not able to define their life. They are not able to tell about the meanings in their life, but they are following the definitions, the meanings given by the educational institutions according to this man. And if we interpret the statement, we can reach the following conclusions. Curriculum imposes the ideology of ruling class. Definitely. We have seen it in different countries. Actually, curriculum should be on the basis of the socio-cultural factors. It should be on the basis of the history of the country. It should be on the basis of the social values. It should be on the basis of the interests of the people of the country. But most of the time, curriculum imposes the ideology of ruling class, because curriculum is framed on the basis of the policy of the governments, and these policies often are for satisfying the interests of the ruling class, ruling party. It's a fact. We cannot deny it. And the second interpretation we can make, that it makes people think through a single dimension, is something shocking. In a democratic country, people should be able to think in their own manner. So there should not be any sort of thinking through a single dimension. But when there is This statement implies that, but when we are giving some formal education to our children, actually we are making them think through a single dimension. There is no freedom for thinking. There is no open thinking. Then it tries to prevent freedom of expression. And one of the most important pillars of democracy is liberty. You know the pillars, you know the slogans of democracy. And liberty is one of the most important slogans of democracy. And the most important liberty is liberty of expression of one's own views. But the statement given by this person tells that our curriculum or our formal curriculum all over the world prevent freedom of expression. Then again, when there is some ideology of a group of people in creating curriculum, then it prevents occultation. It prevents fusion of culture. It prevents mixing of culture. And it always intends to create division among the people. It always intends to create division among the people because people on power want to be on power for a long period. So when they are on power, they will be creating some curricula for satisfying the interests of the people who are ready to follow the ruling class. So it always intends to create division among the people. Now look at the different points in detail. See, we have solved that curricula most of the time all over the world. Curricula impose the ideology of ruling class. Then see, what will be the after effect of imposing the ideology of ruling class? Appointment of unqualified hands in curriculum committee. Is something happening there? Because the ruling class wants to implement some curriculum or some educational methods just for satisfying their interest. And for this purpose, they always appoint unqualified hands in curriculum committee. So it reduces the quality of education. And we can see that political influence is there in framing each and every committee for education. And even in framing curriculum, even in the committees which are formed for framing curriculum, we can see some unqualified people. They haven't got any merit. They haven't got any knowledge. They haven't got much experience. They have got only one merit, that they are the members of some, or they are the disciples or followers of some political parties. It will be creating problems. Then it makes a section of people dissatisfied forever. And this dissatisfaction we can see. Because when a party is on power, then they will be giving more regard to the people who are voting for them. And if the people of power is from some particular religion, then the people of that religion will be given more opportunities. The people of some other sections will not be getting any opportunity for gaining education and development. Then it will be create a sort of dissatisfaction in the minds of the people of some sections in the society. Then there will be some imbalance, and this imbalance is becoming a hurdle before the development of a country. for the development of a country, maybe economic, maybe social, maybe cultural. For the development of a country or a society, a balance should be there. All the people should be ready to give their contributions. And when there is some effect of imposing the ideology of ruling class in curricula, then some people or some sections will be dissatisfied and they will not be ready to give any contribution for the development of the country. And another thing is that it often buries truth and spreads myths. And the modern era, education is giving more importance to science and scientific truths. But the matter is that when the ruling class, the ruling party is imposing their ideologies during the time of framing the curriculum, then they will be burying the truths because they have to propagate their ideologies. So this is something dangerous. Then again, it corrupts history, and history is becoming corrupted. They will be changing the history. They will be creating new documents without any proof. And they will be telling lies. And students will be taught some false history. And teaching false history is something which will be decreasing the pace of development in the country, because we should learn from history. When we corrupt history, it will be creating some sort of maladjustment in our society, and it neglects the cultural heritage, and it often neglects the cultural heritage of our country. So these are the after effects of imposing the ideology of ruling class in curriculum construction. Then we have told that one of the most important after effect of or consequences of imposing the ideology of the ruling people is it makes people think through a single dimension. And what are the after effects of making people think through a single dimension? That if people think through a single dimension, there will not be any sort of social diversity. And social diversity is a part of our country and countries all over the world. There should be social diversity. When there is social diversity, life becomes more enjoyable. Life becomes more interesting. So social diversity is something which gives extra beauty to our world. But when we make people think through a single dimension, then this social diversity will not be there. And when people start thinking through a single dimension, there will not be useful discussions. And if there is no discussion in classrooms in our country, then there will not be more knowledge. For developing knowledge, for widening the knowledge space, for creating new ideas, there should be discussions. For having new ideas, for discovering new meadows of knowledge, there should be useful discussions among people. But when we make people think through a single dimension, there will not be any discussion. If there is no discussion, if there is no communication, or if there is no discussion, there is nothing. And it buries creative ideas. Creativity is a part of education. Education should be able to enhance the creativity of the students. Because creative ideas should be there. Let them discover new ideas. People should think in a divergent manner. When we make them think through a single dimension, their creativity is degenerated. They are not getting an opportunity for enhancing their creativity. And creativity is something which will be helping our country to develop, because when we do something different, then it will be attracted by the people of other countries. It's important. Even for economic development, creative ideas should be there. So when we make the people think through a single dimension, actually we are destroying the creativity of our people. Then it destroys natural development. And according to naturalism and modern educational philosophies, students should be able to, or students should be allowed to develop naturally. Natural development is a part of education according to modern educationists. But when we make people think through a single dimension, how can they enjoy natural development? It's impossible. So these are some after effects of making people think through a single dimension, and this is an after effect of the ideology, imposing the ideology of people on power when constructing curriculum. Then we have told that another after effect of imposing ideology of ruling people or people on power on curriculum is preventing freedom of expression. Prevention of freedom of expression. So as I told, one of the most important pillars, one of the most important slogans or mottos of democracy is liberty. You know, 3 slogans are there: equality, liberty, equality, and fraternity. And the most important liberty or freedom in a democratic society is freedom of expression. So if you are preventing freedom of expression, it means that you are destroying democratic values. And see, for the successful implementation of democracy in our country, each and every person should be able to express their views. Democracy means taking decisions on the basis of the views of majority of the people. So each and every man should be ready to express their own views. Each and every person should be able to give some creative ideas. So when we are trying to impose the ideologies of the people on power in our curriculum, actually we are making people not able to express their views, and it is destroying the democratic values. Then corruption remains a social factor forever. So if these students are not able to express their views inside the classroom, then after becoming a grown-up man, and he will not or she will not be able to respond against a corruption in the country, because they are not able to express their views. They have been made dumb, or they have been made dumb or deaf. That is what is told by Polo Freire. You are creating a sort of culture of silence inside the classroom without giving any sort of opportunity for expressing their views. And this culture of silence will be there even after becoming a grown-up man, even after becoming a member of the society. You can see it does not promote the capacity to react. Yes, you are creating a culture of silence. And they will not be reacting any sort of social injustice, because they are not given any opportunity for expressing their views. They do not know how to react. They do not know how to respond. They do not know how to communicate in a very good language. They do not know how to respond against social injustice because they are made so. So it creates culture of silence. Not culture of science, it's a typing mistake. It creates culture of silence. Then after effect of preventing cultural fusion, I told that when there is imposing of ideology of the ruling people, the people on power, it will be preventing cultural fusion. I mean mixing of culture. I mean acculturation. It does not give chance to accept virtues from other culture. Actually, people should be ready to accept some virtues of other cultures. That is what is happening in cultural pluralism. Our India is culturally a pluralistic society where different sections of people live together with harmony. And some sections of people are ready to accept the virtues of the cultural aspects of some other sections, some other groups, some other religious groups, or some other cultural groups. It should be there. But when people on power are trying to impose the ideologies of their party in curriculum construction, then it will not be giving chances to accept virtues of other culture. It makes the life of people orthodox and conservative. People will not be ready to accept any social change, because they are not ready to accept changes because their minds are made so. Then there will be cultural lack. People will not be it does not promote modernization, and modernization is making the people able to make use of modern trends in life, the possibilities of modern science and technology. And if you are not ready to make the people accept changes, then they will not be able to lead a modern life. Modernization will not be there. So all these are happening there as an after effect of this imposing the ideology of people on power. And again, this tendency causes for division among people. Because some sections of people are neglected. So it will be creating insecure feeling in some sections. Members of some sections of the society. They will feel that we are not the part of this society. We are neglected. So we are not safe. And this insecure feeling may be creating or may be causing for some anti-social activities in them. Because they are insecure. They feel that we are insecure. We are not safe. What can we do? Society does not need us. So we do not need society. So let us do something against the social norms and regulations. So maybe sometimes it will be resulting in some anti-social activities. It affects the development of the nation. As I told, if your country is to develop, then there should be the contributions of each and every person of our country. Because manpower is more important resource of a country. And if you are neglecting some sections of people without giving education, then they will not be ready to contribute for your nation. And it creates communal riots. And nowadays, communal riots are something common in our country and in all over the world. Because maybe some sections of people believe that we are just like dogs and doggies in this society, because we are not given any opportunity for getting education. We are living just like animals. We are living just like animals. We are not given any education. We are not given right for getting education and development. we are driven away from the mainstream of society. So such a feeling will be creating a sort of hatred towards the people of some other sections. Then there will be communal riots. So this is something about the effect of the influence of power ideology on curriculum. Thank you. Thank you very much.